How are you? James here. It's 10 past 11 on Wednesday. Listen, I thought I would jump in to the Facebook group and talk about a question that came up on Tuesday on our Jumpstart group call that I thought was really interesting. And it's around offers, right? It's around offers. Like, how do you create an offer that converts at a pretty high level, right? Converts consistently. And there's no doubt that there's actually some sort of I'm looking for. There's technique to doing this, right? To creating a high converting offer. There's definitely a structure to building an offer that people are going to find, I like to call it irresistible, right? So it's irresistible. Like, we want to have it. We've got to have it. So there's definitely a formula and there's a structure to doing this, guys. So, I thought it might be fun just to kind of jump on the Facebook group and kind of walk you through how we do ours. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm not saying it's the only way, but it's it kind of works. Right? It definitely works for us, and so hopefully, you can take something from this. If you want to develop it into your own, that's totally fine. Make it work for you. But we often find that it's actually easier to do things right once we have a framework, right, to work from, and that's kind of what we've got here. So yeah, I was sitting with nothing else to do, and I thought it might be kind of fun to jump on and kind of do this. So hold on. Trying to be a little bit more relaxed when we do this. Angela tells me I'm getting a little bit uptight when I'm on doing these Facebook lives, which aren't the easiest things to do, right? But I do enjoy doing them, and I do enjoy getting on and doing a little bit of teaching, right, for the peeps that are in the group. It would be really nice if you guys actually commented and responded, but I get it. There's a lot of things that you're probably doing as well. So yeah, so let's talk about this high converting offer scenario. We actually learned this from, believe it or not, Chalene Johnson is where I got this from. So back in 2019, 2019, we went to a conference. It was actually Kajabi. So Kajabi had a conference over in Orange County. It was their first conference. And being members of Kajabi, we use like our whole platform, our whole business is built around the Kajabi platform. But yeah, so we went and it was awesome. And we were in the same room as Brendan Burchard and Amy Porterfield and Chalene Johnson, which was really, really cool. And anyway, Chalene walked us through her way of creating an offer, right? What we need to be thinking about in terms of building an offer. And hers had something like, there was like 12 steps that Chalene had in hers. I took that 12 and I kind of whirled it down to, a whole 10. So I took two out just to try and make it a little bit simpler for you guys. So yeah, let's kind of dive in. Let's dive into this. Hopefully Restream is going to play ball with me here. So hopefully you can see this, right? Okay. Actually, let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. Take James out for a second. So we've got our 10 boxes. And starting in the top left-hand corner, right? So the first thing we want to do is get really clear about who the target market is. Like, who is it we're actually making this offer to? Like, who are we building this for? So getting really clear around who your target market is like point number one. If you're not clear on your target market, guys, or if you're not clear on your niche, then you are going to have a really big problem putting anything together that's going to resonate with anybody. All right. So we're all about finding out who your target market is, right? Take your 3 questions. Who do I like? Who do I like working with? Can I help them? And can they pay? Right, that's our 3 big questions, and then just start there, go from there. So let's look at, so we've got the target market. Then we move across to the problem. What we want to do is to be able to identify a problem that the target market has. And by the way, this is a problem they also identify with. If you're trying to get them, let me see how I can put this. If you're going at someone with a problem and they don't know that it's a problem, then you're having to do a lot of work to convince them that they have that problem. What we say is, hey, go in with the problem that they already know that they have. They've identified that problem. Part 2. We get into part 3, right? So we're now top right-hand corner. Empathy. In your marketing, in your offer, right, you want to have empathy. You want to be able to show your target market that you get them, that you really understand what they're going through at a deep emotional level, right? That you understand where they are at this point in time based on that problem. So being able to show empathy, being able to show that you understand them is really critical. Then we move down to the possibilities, right? So now what we want to do is talk about, hey, I get that you're here. I get that you're going through this because of this problem. But think about where you can be, right? By solving this problem, you can move from this point here to this point over here, which is a much better place to be, right? A much nicer place to be. So we're going to talk about possibilities. Then we're going to look at outcome, right? We're going to tell a story, maybe a case study, showing someone the power of the solution that you've created. Now, if you can't show someone that your solution works, that you've got some kind of case study behind it, that's okay. Don't panic, right? Having an outcome and having the ability to tell that story just adds another layer of authority in there and credibility. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. If this is a new program that you're launching, right, then what we want to do is to talk about how it affected us. So if you don't have a case study of a client, then talk about your story, right? When we first launched Accelerate and then we launched Jumpstart, we used ourselves as the case study because we'd been through it, right? We know that the stuff that we're teaching works because it's what we use to get to where we are, and we know that it works for our clients. But we didn't have clients when we first launched it, right? So we had to use ourselves. So outcome. Then we move to simplify, right? So we want to make sure that this, whatever this thing is for you guys, whatever it is that you are promoting, whatever it is that your program is, it has to be easy to explain. It's got to be easy for the other person to understand, and it has to be easy for them to buy, right? It's got to be easy for them to buy. So we want to make this as simple as humanly possible. Then we get into the investments, right? So we're going to share payment structure and options. Hey, it's $3,000. You pay 2 lots of 1,500, or it's 3 times a third, whatever it is. But we want to make that investment structure and options super, super clear. Then we get into what we call risk reversal, right? Because now what we want to do is we want to talk about, look, I get it that maybe you're thinking about should I not? But think about if you don't do this. Think about where you're going to be in 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. You've already been in this position for 6 months or 8 months. We want to get you out of it. So we want to talk about that. We want to include risk reversal. Here's what's going to happen if you don't do this thing. 9, call to action, right? Clear and actionable. Click here, do this. Click here, do that. And then last but not least, what we tend to do is we offer what we call a fast action bonus, right? Which is, hypothetically, hey, program's $3,500, it's 12 weeks. If you act in the next 24 hours, we knock it down to like $3,000, right? So you save $500. So what we're doing is we're giving people an incentive to take action now. Hopefully that's clear. So that's it. So that's kind of your 10-point anatomy or your 10-point plan for building a high converting offer. Now, we're not finished, right? We're not finished. That's funny. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get this back off here. Cool. Right. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Those 10 points, those 10 pieces are really, really important. And it's really important that you go through them and spend time on them, right? When you start to build out your offer. Like, don't try and jump it. Don't try and go, well, you know, I don't need to create the possibilities. I don't need to, you know, do the risk reversal. There's a reason why these things are in here, and there's a reason why they're in there the way they are, right? So yeah, don't try and jump. Don't try and jump over anything. Don't ignore anything. It's there for a reason, guys. Right? We follow this step every single time. And even if we even when we have an offer and we're creating a new offer around the same program, we still go through the process, right? We still go through each of these steps. Go, okay, what is it? Who's the target market? Okay, we're clear on the problem. We can show empathy, right? We've been there, we've done that, so we understand what's going on. So what I wanted to do now is show you what this looks like, right, when we actually fill it in, right, when we go through this. And this is something that we did, right? So I'm showing you a little bit behind the curtain on how we actually created an offer for ourselves. Let me make this bigger. Okay, so who's the target market? So when we created Accelerate and Jumpstart, we were like, okay, who's it we're going after? So for us, coaches with inconsistent income revenue trying to sell a 12-month coaching program. This is actually for Jumpstart. Now I remember. Because we're like, if you're a new coach and you're trying to sell a 12-month coaching program, you're gonna crash and burn most of the time. Right? We're seeing that in another group that we are in, where people are coming in and they're going through role plays to show software and really fancy shit. And then their whole gig is try and sell $1,500, $2,000 a month coaching program for 12 months. And some of these people have never coached in their lives. So that's the target market for Jumpstart, because their Jumpstart is 10K in 10 weeks, right? That's Jumpstart, right? We have a program that helps get coaches to 10K inside of 10 weeks. What's the problem? Conversions are low and it's taking them too long to get to 10K month mark, right? We want to get to 10K once, then we want to get to 10K more consistently and predictably. So that's the problem. What's the empathy, right? So we tell our story. That was us between 2009 and 2014. We were trying to sell 12-month coaching programs. We sold some, but it was a slog. It really was a slog. Possibilities, right? So for people coaches and consultants, who are in this, right, trying to sell 12-month coaching programs, here's what I'm telling you. You don't need a high-ticket program to get to 10K a month, right? Now, high-ticket is subjective, but for most people, high-ticket is usually 10, 12, 15, 20K a year, right? We have a multiple six-figure business selling a program that's 12 weeks for 3.5K. You don't need a high-ticket program. Outcome, tell a story. Use a case study to illustrate the solution, right? So we use ourselves. This is what we do. We now teach it to other coaches and how to actually go and execute and implement this, right? Simplify, make program easy to explain, right? So we have a model. You have a Venn diagram that walks everyone through. This is what we're going to work on, right? Six modules. There's 3 problems in there, right? But we'll have one solution. So it's very simple for us to say, hey, if you are this client, if you're this prospect or this coach, this problem, we get it. We've been there, right? You don't need to be thinking about trying to sell $2,000 a month. What you can do is sell a $3,500 12-week program. By the way, that's what we do. Then we get into the investment, right? So what's the investment structure look like? You can start today for a down payment of $2K, followed by 3 payments of $1,500, right? That's not what our program is. I'm just saying that's how you can structure it. Risk reversal. What's the risk reversal? Risk reversal is, I'm going to show you how to do this in 10 weeks. If you try this on your own or keep going down the path you're on, it's potentially going to take you, 8, 9 months, maybe a year to get the same result. I'm going to show you. So we're all about contraction of time. Get to the result as fast as humanly possible. For a coach, make revenue as fast as possible, right? Create something that you can sell real easily that creates value, solves a problem for someone. But get into the market. Call to action, click here to get started, and then, of course, the fast action, right? Whatever the fast action is for you. Maybe it's $500 off the 3,000 or whatever price point you are at. Doesn't matter, right? But we want to have a fast action bonus. So that's it, right? That's the 10-point anatomy of a high converting offer. You want to make sure that you incorporate all of this stuff, all of this, when you're building your offer out. And like I said, don't miss pieces, don't jump, don't avoid, right? Go through the process. That's why it's there, right? Go through the process, fill it all in, and construct your offer. Now, the part that's not in here that you do want to think about is if your offer is made up of multiple value pieces, make sure you attach a number to each of those pieces. Whether it's, hey, value $1,500, value $5,000, value $2,000. Boom, right? Build up your value stack. At the end, what you're going to have is, hey, this is a $15,000 piece of value that I'm offering it for $3,000 or $3,000. But you have to go through the process. All right. So my advice to all of you guys that watch this, who are out there trying to sell 12-month coaching programs, first time out the gate, stop it. Right? Stop it. Because you're going to be 6, 8, 9 months down the line still trying to get your first client. Sell something that's easy. Create a small program that gets you in the door, that solves the problem. Okay? That solves the problem. And then you can start working on the next thing. But you want to get in the door. Right? And people can't see 12 months. People can see 90 days. But they can't see 12 months. So that's it. If you want a copy of this, just leave a comment below, right? Happy to send it off to you. Just comment, say, James, send me your high converting offer template, and we will send it off to you. And if you are a coach at that 10K, if you're a coach trying to get to that 10K and you are struggling, then let's have a conversation. Maybe your Jumpstart program is exactly what you need. Maybe it's exactly what you need to get your arse moving and start making some money, right? This is all about runway. Most of you don't have a 12-month runway to make this stuff work. You've got to start generating revenue now. That's what we teach. We're going to show you how to do it. So listen, thanks for, if you're watching this live, or if you're watching it on the replay, just let us know. I'd love to get your feedback on what you've heard. A little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but, what the hell. So yeah, listen, tune in, let us know, and we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.